construct 120 mini hospitals and 5 level 1 hospitals across the country, which the big question is, how will Solwezi Central, should Solwezi West benefit from these figures that have announced? So today we do have the area member of parliament for Solwezi West, and this is Mr. Nicholas Mukumbi. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us on this platform. I know you have a very busy morning today, and you're just indicating to me that we need to make sure that we talk national issues today, despite you having a tight schedule, but you had to find time to be with us today. How is Solwezi doing?
Oh, we are well, and I'm happy to be here, President. Okay. And we hope our listeners there and our viewers will follow what we're discussing. I'm happy to be here.
All right.
And Solwezi is okay. Solwezi West, which we now call Karumbira.
Okay.
And we want to be called Karumbira constituency, not Solwezi West constituency, because we're no longer part of Solwezi.
Okay, interesting. So the number that we'll be using if you wish to be part and parcel of today's deliberation is the usual line, which is 0978772801. And my sign language interpreter is Jason Manda. My name is Paulson Tindovia, and you can also utilize our Facebook page, and that's the National Assembly of Zambia, if you feel like you'd want to ask any question. We know that Kalumbila, or should I say Solwezi West, is the new copper belt and quite a number of projects taking shape in the mining sector. How did the people of Kalumbila, as you would want to call it, receive the 2026 projection, which is paid at 253.1 billion kwacha?
Sure. The budget is well received, not only by the people of Kalumbila, but I must state that the entire province has received this budget very well. Not only the province, I suppose the whole country. The reason is simple. The budget has responded to the needs of the rural population and also the urban population. Why do I say so? If you look at it critically, when you go down and you are discussing the issue to do with the economic affairs, there you see that agriculture features in there. That's what we do in rural communities. The issue of CDF is in there. You look at the issue of tourism, electricity, all that have been captured, because this is what the rural population truly needs. Roads, for feeder roads, and also just gravel roads and upgraded roads to bituminous standard. That has been attended to under the economic affairs. When you go down again, 10% of this budget is going to health issues, which is a plus to all of us that live in rural areas. You again go down in the same budget, you realize that 13% of the budget, the total allocation, is going to education. Remember, in areas, distances from one school to the other is unimaginable. Kids have to walk 30 kilometers in a day. Some of them go 15 kilometers to the next school. So this is responding to the rural concerns, where we want to narrow our distances. For instance, in Karumbira, our resolve is that at every 3 kilometers, there should be a school. So that kids are only able to walk 3 kilometers and they're at the next school. So because of this particular, increase in the budget allocation under the Ministry of Education, this is responding to our needs.
Okay.
From the urban population, where the suppliers are, if you look at domestic debt, those that we owe money as government, they have a bigger allocation there. I think it's about 36.6% that is going towards domestic debt and also external debt and all that. So once the local suppliers receive their money, that effect will be felt everywhere because they run the local economy.
Okay.
So we are happy.
You talked about the 13% which has been allocated towards education sector. Now, Honorable Member, do you really think the 13% is enough, looking at going by the Abuja Declaration, which is supposed to be 20% of the total budget? Do you think the 13%, the entire country, will sort out the problem that the people of Kalumbila are facing in the education sector?
Not really, but it's a good stride. Every journey begins with one step, and then you continue walking. So this year we'll do so much. Next year probably there will be another increment. The other year until we reach to 20%. So for us as people of Kalumbila, it's a good start, And we hope that the money will be shared equitably to all the constituencies, so that at least there are 2, 5 or 10 projects in all the constituencies. That's what people want. Development may not come just like a drop, just like rains, It's a process. So we'll do more this year, again and again. The next 10 years or so, things might change for the better. And that's what we are looking at. Again, government may release the funds to spending agencies, but how quick are they at implementation? I think that also worries us as politicians. We will maybe pass the budget towards the end of December. Money appropriated to various ministries. Those tasked with responsibility to manage the funds, how capable are they? It also stems from there. If they are not implementing, that's why you see that rush towards December. That, we have so much money and now government has paid, and they start rushing around. The next thing, they start appearing before party, which we don't want. So we ask the minister, once appropriated, that they begin to do timely releases of funds to spending agencies, so that they can also attend to issues as the year progresses.
All right, we should also make mention that we did extend an invitation to Chilubi Island Member of Parliament. This is Mr. Mulenga Fube, but is unable to be with us due to circumstances beyond his control. So we should make mention that we really extended the invitation to Honorable Mulenga Fube, who is Chilubi Area Member of Parliament, but unfortunately is unable to be with us due to circumstances beyond his control. Nevertheless, we'll continue discussing Solwezi West, and my guest today is Mr. Nicholas Mukumbi, who is Solwezi West Member of Parliament, and we are looking at how Chilubi, how Solwezi West benefits from the 2026 national budget that the Minister of Finance projected for 2026. Now, you are coming from a mining constituency, and you were talking about Kalumbila and other mines, and there are also some discoveries, some gold discoveries in your constituency. And the government, when the president came here sometime last month, has projected that they want to reach the 3 million target in terms of copper. How are you going to make sure that your constitution also, your constituents also benefit or contributes to the 3 million tons of copper production?
Also, you may note that Zambia has 5 big mines. The notable ones. Of course, there are smaller ones, but the big ones that we have just 5. We have KCM, we have Mopani, we have Kansanshi, then we have Rumwana, and then we have Trident, which has got Karumbila mines. Of the 5, 2 are domiciled in my constituency. That's a plus to all of us. And the 2 that we have there are expansion programs that are going on. In Rumwana, we have the super pit. In Karumbila or Trident, we have the nickel mine that has been opened there. So we are not just producing copper, but there's also nickel being exported, making us the second, I think, largest mine in Africa producing nickel. Zambia hosts that particular mine in my constituency. So what are the benefits? I was born and raised in those areas. I was born in the village, in Mukumbi village, some 54 years ago. So when I look at the Mukumbi of that time and the Mukumbi I see now, are different environments now. People used to live in grass-thatched houses. They are no longer living in those houses. That's a plus. They are now using iron sheets. People are building houses in villages using concrete blocks now, because the economy has just changed. Okay? What does this bring to us, the increment in all these avenues here? When the president is talking about increasing production to 3 million, meaning every parameter that supports mining has to increase. That's the bottom line. For you to produce 3 million, you need more trucks, haul packs, okay, dump trucks, more excavators, more wheel loaders. So the more you buy wheel loaders or you procure wheel loaders, the more you are compelled to employ labor to operate them. As simple as that. So we are seeing this. Every day the mine is employing people. Not only that, those that have houses are benefiting as landlords. You may be shocked that the price of a three-bedroom house in Karumbira is more expensive than Lusaka. You pay 15,000 there for three-bedroom house, while still people are paying 7,000. So people are building houses to support the population pool. That is happening in our area. And not only that, companies that offer security services, they are also benefiting from there. The skills transfer that comes along with such investments. I have cousins that have never been to school. Today they are operators from my own village. They are operating big machines. Why is this happening? Because of those increments. So there is employment arrangement coming in. There's increased business opportunities as well. I never used to be a businessman myself, but I am, because of that which is happening there. When you look at town developments as well, like for Karumbira, we never used to have Rumana Township. Now we have, with thousands of people there. We never used to have Karumbira Township. Now we have, with about 17,000 people living in there. You go there, percent, you find there's a golf course, you find there's an airport, you find there's shops, things that never existed 10 years ago. They are there because of these particular investments that are happening. So for us, the issue of forex also will be addressed. The more you produce, the more you sell, and when you sell, you receive the money. So it's just about government policies now. Where do they bank the money after production? We hope that people will be compelled to be selling locally, so the money comes in local. And when the money is kept by our local banks, it enhances, the dollar and fluctuations and the kwacha arrangements. So many things have come along. Look at hospitals. We never used to have bigger hospitals. Now we have. Like in Karumbira, we have Manyama General Hospital or Rumana General Hospital. It never used to be there 15 years ago. It has come because of the population pool. We have clinics that are being upgraded to mini hospitals because the population has just swelled. So we have seen quite a number of good things that have come along due to this particular investment. And for us, we invite everybody. We are one Zambia, one nation. I know our people out there are complaining to say, well, why are we employing people from outside? But there's no mine that can be run by the local population only.
Let's get to the artisanal and small-scale miners in your constituency. I know the Minister of Finance did talk about this, and maybe the big question is how will your constituency, Solwezi West, bring about initiatives that will implement to support artisanal and small-scale miners in your constituency, given the significant rise in the production of copper production from this sector?
Well, we have the Minister of Mine in our constituency. They are present there now, because of the accidents that have been happening due to unsafe mining by our artisanal license holders. So we are happy that we are conducting training for our people so that they mine safely. There is no leader worth calling himself a leader that would want his people dead when they go to mine. So that the government is doing, and we are participating in that. So what are we trying to encourage here? Safe mining, so that we do not lose lives. The market is now being streamlined. We want the mail to the government. Those that are involved, for instance, in gold production. Government is saying we will send somebody to come and buy. This is CMIH. They are involved with our people. And once people begin to sell to the government, the benefits will be seen very fast. There's a call also from the government, which we are seeing also, that they are providing detectors or gadgets that detect the minerals underground. So this is also happening in our constituents. We have seen these planes that are flying, above the skies, pinpointing where the resources are or unveiling the hidden treasures, which is very good for us. So we are taking care of them so that we do not lose lives. And at the end of it all, they must contribute to the GDP of our country. So that is happening very well.
Okay, if I go to the budget, the budget speech that the Minister of Finance presented 2 weeks ago, he talked about the Minerals Regulation Commission. And he did say that once operational, work with, how will it work with the Zambia Revenue Authority to maximize tax or revenue collection so that it's the people of Kalumbila and the entire Zambia can benefit?
First and foremost, this is a very welcome move. You need a regulator. You need somebody who is looking at all the investments and all those that are calling themselves investors that have come in our areas. For Kalumbila, if you went to a cadastre today, I don't think you will find any place that is empty. It's all taken. Every piece of land has a mine license order. So what do we do in this aspect? We need to identify them through this commission. The commission will have to identify each and every license order so they are accountable to the state. What is happening now is we may not even know who is mining what and who is selling to who and all that. So there is unfair play in there. So they come in to conduct strict supervision. You are producing. Who are you selling to? Where are your ZRA documentation, export documentation, or sales documentation? So we only hope that ZRA will come in to support this particular initiative. Because you may implement all these good regulations, but the implementation part is where we now need to enhance. ZRA must come in, utilize the resource that the regulator will have. They should be able to say, this is owned by Chinese, this is owned by Zambia, this is owned by this. How are you mining? How many people do you employ? So they do also conduct trainings and all that. So for us, it's a very good move, and we hope that all the mining companies will respect the regulators so that we push in the resources that we are making through the government channels, and by doing so, government will be making money from the mines.
We do have quite a number of influx in terms of investors in your constituency, but what some of the corporate social responsibility are these mines contributing to Solwezi West and the entire province?
I would say they have started doing so. Previously, there was some laxity, but now we are able to see. I'm coming from Kalumbila myself, and I'm able to see. Just in the last 4 years, Rumwana mine alone has built us 2 mini hospitals. They're building another one. They will build us a police station in Manyama. They're patching up the roads. Trident FQM mines as well, bought us an ambulance. They built DHMT offices. They're patching up the road from Kisasa all the way to Solwezi. They're building infrastructure such as schools and roads, and they're supporting our farmers. So I'll be unfair if I say they are not doing anything. And above 4%, they're assisting the local community in a big way. What do I mean by this? We are receiving about I think about 90, in total 168 million through the council account, cash, through property taxes. Okay? This money is coming straight into the coffers of our district. Which money we are using to provide a water, which money we are using to buy tipper trucks, to buy machinery, to buy all that. So Kalumbila is a construction site. We are moving very fast because of such a resource that is coming from the mines. So when the mines are expanding, they are growing in the way they are growing now. The rate poundage by the council is all increased. So when we increase, we get more money. So we are getting cool cash, 168 million from the 2 mines. And that money doesn't come to the government to control it, 98 or whichever account. That money is paid direct to the local authority. And that's the money we are using in Kalumbila to build more infrastructure.
The large part of Kalumbila constituents, or Solwezi West constituents, or the entire province, is under traditional land. And there is a perception that chiefs in your province or in your constituency are benefiting more than the central government. Is that true? Because you're on the ground, born in Kalumbila, raised in
I don't
Kalumbila?
think so. I don't think so.
And they are saying that government is losing out because a lot of money is being given to traditional leaders.
Where you have a trust, there's just a percentage. For instance, in Kalumbila, we have a trust, which, like for Rumwana, there are only 3 chiefs that are involved in that trust. That money is paid to those 3 chiefdoms, just $1 million every year, and they decide on
that's
what.
a lot of money.
Yes, and they decide on what infrastructure they build. But if you look at $1 million compared to 150 million, 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 1 160, a million is like 23 million kwacha. Compared to what the council is getting, 168, it's more. Coupled with what government is getting in terms of mineral royalty taxes and all the other taxes. So government is getting millions and millions of dollars from the same mines. So the mines are not only paying chiefs, they are paying the local authority, they are also paying the central government. We believe that central government is getting more than our local chiefs. However, chiefs just end at giving surface rights. Government gives mining rights. That's the way it is. And the chief will not issue a title deed. Title deeds are issued by the central government. So the chiefs just do what we call recommendations. They will give a parcel of land, recommend to the council will pass through the council resolution and forward it to the Minister of Lands for enactment. So any land that is above 250 hectares can be given by a chief. That's to be given by the president and at that level, the minister and the president at that level. So I don't agree that chiefs more than central government. I think central government is benefiting more and the local authority than the chiefs. Okay.
The number that we are using, shortly I'll be able to read your text messages. It's 0978 772801. That's 0978 772801. Better still, you can also go to our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. Like that page and let us know where you're watching us from, and if you have any question or contribution that would want to ask Solwezi West Member of Parliament, Mr. Nicholas Mukumbi, feel free to send in your text message. I know people of Solwezi are watching and keenly following what we are discussing. Now the big question is, Honorable Member, is the 253.1 million kwacha, or should I say part of that money that has been allocated to Solwezi as Northwestern, as a province, and maybe we zero it to Kalumbira constituency or Solwezi West constituency. Do you think it has responded to the need and aspiration of your people, the people that you serve in that particular constituency?
Well, I would say the budget is still under discussion. If Parliament passes it, well, we will see one or two things happening in our constituency in various sectors of the budget. So yes, the budget is sufficient for the whole country, and the good part is much of it is coming from within our own savings and our own resources, and just a fraction of it is coming from external pool. So we are okay for now, but we hope that as years go by, it will increase. How is it going to increase? With the investments that's going on. If we take copper, for instance, to 3 million tons, we attract more tourism or more tourists to come. We do more farming, surplus, and begin to export. All that just grows your GDP, grows the economy. And once the economy is grown, you will have a $1 billion budget. For now, that's what we can afford. If you look at 253, that's like how much in dollars? That's if you divide that by 24. We are not even reaching $1 billion. I don't think it's a $1 billion budget. So, but we are there. Rome was not built in a day. We were a third world country, but we are moving in that direction. So we call for more investment. We call for prudent use of resources. We call for Zambians to be productive. This habit of sitting on social media throughout is not helpful. We need to be productive, so that we produce a lot of millionaires. President, go to countries like Nigeria. Just at the airport when you are landing, see how many private jets you see there. A lot of them. And you ask anybody from the airport, who owns these aircrafts? They'll tell you these are businessmen. So the economy is big because people are hardworking. So we need to inculcate this culture of hard work.
Let's move away from mining. I know we've talked quite a lot about mining, and that's the backbone of your constituents, Honorable. The Minister of Finance talked about recruiting about 2,500 health personnel in various parts of the country. What number do you think should be given to your province and later on to your constituency, which is Solwezi West, and what specialities would you recommend that are sent to your constituency?
Well, we want everybody. Oh, these have to be employed at 2,500. If they can be sent to one province, we'll be very happy. But I know that can't work. We have a deficit in all the districts, all the 116 districts in the country. So, fair play. We need to divide that number by the number of districts. Look at this perception, not only perception per se, it's happening. Most of our nurses, our doctors, and these working farmers, they prefer working in urban town setups. They don't want to come to our rural communities. They are employed, they come, just get an establishment there, they are put on salary, the next thing they begin pushing government for a transfer. Like in 2022, I think we received about 100 plus. Go there and see how many have remained. This one will come and say, my husband works this side. This one will tell you, I'm sick, I can't stay here, transfer me to this place. So we in the rural areas, we are in a negative in terms of the numbers, very negative. So we want more to be deployed into rural areas.
But government has passed a policy where you need to serve for 4 years. Is that enough for you at least to feel comforted that at least the newly employed civil servants will at least work for 4 years before they start pushing for a transfer?
Yeah, that's okay, but it's an individual mindset. If I'm not happy, how will my input be? If I'm not happy to live in the village and I've never lived there, will I put effort in that particular job? The answer is no. We have people that just come, work for 2 days, they are back in town. Work for 2 days, they are back in town. We have people that are living in Solwezi, for instance, and they work around Mutanda. They work in Mumena. They can't live in Mumena. They want to commute every morning. Now, say a day when they don't have transport money, what happens? They don't come for work. So they have just refused.
In the health-wise, what has been the biggest challenge for the people of Solwezi West constituency?
We need more doctors at our institution. Because the distances from Karumbira, for instance, to Solwezi is about 100 km from the general hospital that we have in there. And not only that, you have clinics that are far away, as far as 200 plus kilometers from Solwezi town, where you have the biggest, referral hospital. So when one is very sick, say bitten by a snake or something like that, they can't manage to reach Solwezi. It's quite far. So we need doctors placed in various mini hospitals that we are building. We are lucky that we are upgrading about 8 mini hospitals in Karumbira. Upgrading 8 rural centers to mini hospitals. So our request is that these mini hospitals must be manned by doctors, qualified doctors, who can save lives immediately while it's waiting for an ambulance to come. So that is what we are requesting that government does for us. People moving from one place to the other must be discouraged by the administrative matters. So at the employment stage, we hope that the government is going to ask this particular individual, are you willing to serve in the rural community? And they must sign for that. So that within 4 years they don't give us problems. So more doctors we have, we are happy. Now, Karumbira is seated on about 16,000 plus. I think 16,500 square kilometers. It's a big landmass. Big, very big. 1 ambulance or 2 ambulances. How can you manage that? We have 4 chiefdoms. The population is growing. So we need these particular mini hospitals also to be given ambulances. Has given us one. They have procured one. We haven't received it yet. We have one which was donated by Trident Mines. In the mines also they have their own ambulances here and there, but those are located in the mine townships. They are not for outside. So we will need more ambulance facilities out there so that our people are attended to quickly and delivered to the referral centers on time. That's when we can save life.
How does it make you feel? You are here in Lusaka working here at, representing the people of Solwezi West here at the National Assembly of Zambia. And in all corners you see these level 1 hospitals. Talk of Lusaka, quite a number of level 1 hospitals that we have. But when you go to these other parts of the country, other provinces, and I'll give an example of Northwestern province.
Exactly.
How does that make you feel,
Sad.
being a people's representative, and there is no level 1, level 3 in your district?
It's sad development, sad development. And our people are not happy with that. We have spoken in Parliament. Not only ourselves, many MPs have spoken. We speak in our own caucuses. But this has been the trend from long time ago. We have the population now, and that population must be supported by infrastructure, such as a university. Our people in the province are asking for university because that's what population is.
But
for
you're
now,
driving seat
we don't have
now for 4 years.
Yes,
now.
4 years. There are those indications. The president has committed. It's a cabinet decision anyway. In terms of a level 1 hospital, even the vice president did come to Solwezi. Groundbreaking ceremony was done, but we haven't seen much activity. We are happy that in this budget, there is that provision that they are going to start a level 1 hospital. We need it as soon as possible. The population has grown. You come to Lusaka, go to Ndola, you have Bwana Mukubwa, now there's a big mini hospital. I know these are donor funded, of course, the European Commission came in and all that. We need such investment in all the districts of Northwestern Province. Above all, Solwezi requires a level for university teaching hospital, such as Levi Mwanawasa and all that, because the population is there. Look at this. We have so many mines. In case of a big accident, how does the person survive in that particular environment at Solwezi General Hospital? The equipment they have is obsolete. How will a person survive? Many mines now, they will deliver you to General Hospital for stabilization, then they'll fly you out to Lusaka. What is the cost of flying this particular employee from Solwezi into Lusaka? What is the cost? Why can't we build just one big hospital so that everything ends there? Here we have Levi, we have UTH, Ndola Central Hospital, we have cancer hospitals, we have all those things. Of course, during that time, there was not much activity in the province. So maybe that's why the leaders at that time never paid an eye on that. But now, we have the population. We have activities. We need such infrastructure as soon as possible.
Shortly, I'll be reading your text messages, 0978-772801. That's the number that we are using as we continue discussing how will Solwezi West benefit from the 2026 national budget. We've seen the Minister of Health on different platforms talking about the significant increase in essential drugs availability in health facilities. Now maybe the question is, what measures do you think should be put in place to ensure that health facilities maintain a constant stock of essential medicine? Not too long ago, there was the medicine saga. A lot of people would go to health facilities. The only thing they'll come back with is a prescription, and they go and buy these medicine. But now we've seen a stable flow of availability of medicine in various health facilities. But how can we maintain the constant flow?
Well, in Karumbila, we are receiving all our essential medicines. Those that are supposed to be stocked at the general hospital, they are stocked there. We are upgrading some rural centers to mini hospitals with medicine hubs in there, or the pharmacy, they would call it pharmacy, storage facilities. All the mini hospitals that we are building there, the 8 of them, have a pharmacy section with a hub to keep medicine, to support the other clinics that are dotted within those catchment areas. For instance, the Mukumbi catchment area will cater for other 5 clinics. We have the Rumwana catchment mini hospital to cater for the other 6 or 7 clinics that are there. The Kankonji one will do the same. The Mumena one will do the same. The Muyashi one will do the same. The Rumwana, the Manyama one will also do the same. So we are building infrastructure. But that is not enough, because some medicines have to be kept under certain temperatures. We are pushing power lines in there. Where they didn't have electricity, we are taking power there. So all these mini hospitals I've mentioned here, we are putting power. And some of them, the 3 of them that are working now, are all powered. Essential medicines at an optimal temperature. So that we are doing. Now, not only that, fridges have been procured for these mini hospitals to secure those medicines that shouldn't be kept under, just common room temperature. That is being done. But the key thing here is mindset of our people that manage the medicines. Our borders are porous. we have, like for us in Karumbira, Congo is very near. And that's a ready market for the medicines. Very near. I think the biggest stretch we have is the Congo. And you can walk in, there's no immigration, there's no nothing. You just walk through, sell your medicine and come back. Even on a bicycle. In some portions, just a kilometer you are across. Some portions 10 kilometers. Some portions, of course, maybe 20 or so. That mindset needs to be impacted much on our people. Those that keep the medicines. They are the ones that sell. How can I walk into this particular, vault, open it myself as a villager, get the medicine, and go and sell? It's not possible. We've never heard of any thieves breaking into a hospital. How does the medicine live? Those institutions. So we expect our heads of departments, those that manage the staff, to keep up.
Hikwalo Mwemba, you're saying you're watching us from Solwezi. Thank you so much, Hikwalo, for following us on our Facebook page. And let's get to read some of the text messages that you people out there have been sending. Remember, the number that we are using is 0978 772801. We have Small, that's Mr. Small, all the way from Mansa. Good morning, Mr. Moderator and the Honorable MP for Solwezi West. Happy to see you. I'm enjoying the program. Thank you so much, Small, all the way from Mansa there. John Chitala from Lumezi in Eastern Province. I just want to thank and appreciate the Honorable on his wise words on the 2026 budget analysis. Well spoken, Honorable. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Some kudos there. All right, so those are some of just people acknowledging that they're with us on the platform. But I would also urge you, if you have any question, contribution regarding the 2026 national budget, and we are looking at Solwezi West, how will this constituency benefit from the projection that the Minister of Finance unveiled 2 weeks ago here at Parliament, and it's pegged at 253.1 billion kwacha. That's what the government intends to build, to work on come the year that's 2026. Honorable, let's move on to another very interesting issue. I know you've been building a constituents office, and it's long overdue. I'm sure it was supposed to be commissioned. Before even Lundazi was commissioned by the Right Honourable Madam Speaker, even before Kanchibia was commissioned. But where are we, Honourable? Because I remember the time we visited your constituency, everything was in place, and you utilize CDF. And before we get to the enhanced CDF, which is 40 million kwacha that the minister projected to push to, where are we in terms of the construction of or the commissioning of the constituents office? Because this is a mini parliament. Exactly. In your constituents, and that's where people go to ask or maybe present their concerns.
Well, the building is done. Building is done. We have procured furniture. But remember, Karumbira is just 10 years old as a district. We don't have a lot of facilities in that area. The office itself is located just near the civic center, and it's a standalone building with no any other facilities surrounding it. So security was compromised. So we decided that before the speaker comes, let us put a perimeter fence, which we have successfully done. We didn't have water on site. How do we move the whole parliament into Karumbira to commission a particular office, which office is not tenanted by the occupants themselves? We thought that wouldn't look well. It can actually be an audit query. When you go to the Auditor General's office, the speaker comes, commissions this particular office, goes back, 1 year down the line the office is not occupied. How that? So we thought of putting our house in order. Number one, provide security for that particular office. It's a standalone office. There are no other infrastructure. Number two, provide water for the office. We've sunk a bore now. Testing has been done. Tanks have been erected. The next thing now is how do we pump water inside? It's a public office. So we need power. So right now ZESCO is on site. As I'm speaking now, they've delivered poles today or tomorrow they will start, planting those poles. We are hoping that in the next 2 weeks or so, ZESCO would have powered the office. So once those small things are done, I'll confidently come here and say, Madam Speaker, come and open the office.
So what's your projection, your timeline?
First week of November, the Speaker must move in to commission this office.
Okay.
So we want to appeal to ZESCO. So raise the Karumbira office. Please, put your house in order. We want this office done, connected to power, so that come first week of November, the Speaker is on the ground to commission that office. That office is not just for us as members of Parliament or those that work there. It's a community office. We want people to find us in one location, get their forms from there, discuss matters from there, and that is what we want to see. So we are hopeful that come November, the Speaker will be moving in that direction.
How beneficial has that office been in the last 4 years you've been the area member of Parliament for Solwezi West?
For now, we are housed at the Civic Center. It's quite far from civilization. So our people find it difficult to move. Karumbira is too big. From one area to another place, there are those say who are in Ifumba. To come to our office, President, it's about 110 kilometers. How that? It's not possible. There are those that may come from Kimiteto area, maybe in Kiwanza Ward. To get to our office, it's 120 kilometers. How is that? So,
has the new office, has the new location responded to those challenges?
Yes, we have. What have we done? We have built mini offices in all the wards. In all the wards. So there's what we are calling education centers. In that center, we have put one office for the councillor, one office for WDC members, because these we work in hand with. And then we have a common tax shop there, and then a hall that can seat about 400 people. So councillors now have offices in their wards. So the MP also goes to sit there. So if I'm in a particular ward, I move with my staff in there to go and sit there and attend to the people because of the distances. So we feel that once all the community halls are opened, this will reduce the impact on the people, the impact of them traveling hundreds of kilometers to find us in that office. Okay. So we are moving council services, parliamentary offices in 2 wards. And all the 12 wards as I speak have built those halls. And
let's move to the education sector, which is also critical in your constituency. If I remember very well, when the Minister of Finance was here 2 weeks ago, he did announce that his government, your government, has allocated 2.3 billion kwacha for the completion and the rehabilitation of schools and higher learning infrastructure. Sure. How will Solwezi West benefit from this 2.3 billion kwacha?
We have submitted that we expand our only trade school. Karumbira has had no trade school from time immemorial, not even when it was under Solwezi. We never used to have one. Now we have an establishment through the government, Karumbira Trades, Trades College. It's there. It has been established. We received some funding from Trident Mines to build the initial infrastructure, some few houses and all that. So we're expecting that from this 2.3 billion, government will give us more money to build more dormitories for our students. President, our students are learning from Rwanda. Some as far as Ndora at Notek. We have a lot of them at Notek from Karumbira constituency. We have a lot of them in Rwanda at Rwanda Trades. We have a lot of them at Solwezi Trades. All the 300 or 400 students that we have are not in Karumbira. They are in various districts because we didn't have that. So our hope and resolve is that the government will give us more money to build more infrastructure at this particular institution, so that all the monies from CDF are channeled to that institution, and we shall grow it very fast. Okay. We are happy the mines have given us equipment. We have some teachers attached from Rwanda, that's TVTC, who are teaching our own before we employ our own lecturers and principal. That is happening. So we hope that part of that money will go towards that. We also need about 2 or 3 bigger secondary schools, boarding schools. Because of the distances, we hope that once this is actuated our people who send their children into boarding school so that they don't walk those long distances in the morning. And I'm hopeful that we will have a share of this money once the budget is passed.
All right, thank you so much to Demson Ije Mulilo, and you're watching us from Lusaka. We appreciate your viewership, and keep sending those text messages, and I'll be able to read them out in a short while. Another huge allocation that the minister announced during his budget speech was the 1.4 billion kwacha, and this is allocated to the Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board. Very big amount there, and if approved, I'm talking about the 2026 national budget, are we going to see some students from your constituency benefit from this 1.4 billion kwacha?
Definitely.
More especially for bursaries, more especially bursaries.
Definitely. We have them. We have some of them that are in universities, various universities that are receiving such funds. We hope come 2026 there will be more from our constituents that are coming here. You know, you can't force somebody to go to university. They need to pass first. Good grades for them to qualify. So we have quite a number of our, students or pupils that did very well at grade 12 level. So we are hopeful that they'll find chance to be part of this.
So how are you going to identify the people that have got good grades in your constituents to make sure that they benefit from the 1.4 billion kwacha?
We have our DEBS office there. Once results are released by ECZ, they keep records of who has passed and who has done very well. We encourage social welfare departments to reach out to these parents who have children who have done so well, but they are not able to get to university because they lack the funds. Funds are there. Every year, funds are there. It's up to this particular parent to release a child to come. So as member of parliament, when we go around, having our meetings, we identify these children and say, who passed well here? Who got better grades and has never been to university? We push them through the social welfare, program. They do the reports, they do the home assessments, and that report is sent to the Higher Scholarship Board. And from there, some of them are in university, but some of them are not. I would say not everyone who has done well is in university, because the resource is not enough to cater for everyone, mind you. Some of them opt to go to other universities, like private universities, where they pay cash. But for those that are in government institutions, we encourage that if they don't have money, they come through our office, even just by themselves. But I can assure you that I'm one member of parliament that visits my constituency a lot. Even this afternoon, I'll be headed to Karumbira. But the place is just too big that people may not notice that you are in this location or that location. I told you, 16,000 plus square kilometers, not hectares, square kilometers. So even if you are in one location, say I'm in Matebo, those in Mukumbi won't know I'm in the constituency. I'm in Musere, others in Mumena will not even know I'm around. It's just too big. But we encourage those that have done well, as we visit all the zones. Every year I go through my zones twice. That is in this particular season when people are not cultivating, and somewhere in April when they have planted and just waiting for the produce. That's when they are in the village. Go there in December, they are in the farms. You won't find them. So we know when to find people in the communities. But I might say that some people attend meetings, some don't attend meetings. Those who don't attend meetings blame us the most. But those who attend meetings will hear from us. We want to appeal to our parents that have children that haven't reached out to our office. Please send them over so that they benefit from this government.
Sometime last year, you officiated at a graduation ceremony for people that utilize CDF for skills development in various wards of your constituency. And how is that program going? Are we seeing another graduation anytime soon for people that have graduated? And before you respond to that, maybe I would also want you briefly to talk about the revised national education curriculum, which is supported by 300 million kwacha. We heard the Minister of Finance talking about 300 million kwacha allocated for equipment, equip learners in your constituents and other parts of the country with skills that will respond to local and labor market. I've aligned this question to what we witnessed sometime last year, yes, when you officiated at that colorful graduation in your constituents. And it was nice to see parents celebrating and
exactly. Exactly. we have a lot of institutions that are providing, you know, learning to our students. A lot of them, a lot of colleges. Some doing driving, others are, you know, dump truck operations, others are, you know, hands-on skills, bricklayers, carpenters, and all that. A lot of them. So that was just one of them. Some are graduated from Notec, some from Rwansha. We attend these graduation ceremonies. A lot of them happen in a year, and we have supported quite a number of students. Some of them are doing so well. But there's this mindset in Zambia that once I graduate, government must provide a job for me. I don't buy into that myself. I don't buy into that. I used to be a civil servant myself. For 17 years I was
But that's
there.
government's mandate, Honorable Member.
I was there. Let me finish. I was a civil servant. I resigned after working for 17 years. I'm on my own. I think I'm more comfortable than I was waiting for a salary. I'm more comfortable now because I'm working for myself. I'll cite another example here in Lusaka.
Maybe a privilege, Honorable.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I just decided, okay, enough is enough. Let me find something else. Why? Because the mines opened in our area. Now, go to garden compound here. Garden compound here. Who do you find they're fabricating those gates and all that? They are youths. Are they in active employment? Are they not making money more than even teachers and nurses? They are. So once you acquire a skill, utilize it. For me, what I see a mismatch here is the linkages between probably the Ministry of the small scale and those that we are training, because they are supposed to be aligned to a particular ministry. We are training quite a number of them. How are we assisting them to grow?
You've given an example of a garden here where the welder young people have grouped together and trying to weld. But think of a person in Kalumbila. Maybe you're not creating an conducive environment.
Exactly.
As leaders that will enable these young people, young women and men to group up and start working. You just talked about electricity challenges in your constituency.
Let me answer that. So as we are training them, there must be a linkage somewhere. So if I'm training welders in Karumbila, where are they going to weld from? I need to drop power points in all busy areas. That should be government focus, and that's what we are doing. But we need more from power generation. That's why the president currently is pushing for solar and other, energy sources, so we don't just rely on the water component from Kariba Dam and Kafue. So we need to have power dropped in many points. Like for Karumbila, we should have power in Kisasa, everywhere, so that the welders are confined there. We should have power in Mutanda area, dropped at various points. We should have power in Mumena and everywhere. We should have power in Mateo. We should have electricity in Shitungu. So that if I say damage my bicycle, I don't have to drive to go all the way to Kisasa to go and weld it. I must weld it there. By so doing, those that have learned these skills of welding and all that will have a job to do in those areas. So it shouldn't just be a once-off program. That's what I'm trying to say. There must be a linkage. As we are training them, we are also providing the resource that they must use. For me, what we are doing in Karumbila is, you graduate, we ask you to apply for a loan. We buy you welding machines. You stand on your own. Because believe you me, not everybody will be absorbed in the mines. Not everybody will be absorbed in government. It's not possible that the government will employ everybody. It's not possible.
I know.
It's not possible that the mines will employ everybody. But we want people to stand on their own. Once they are empowered by the government, it's our responsibility to empower them. It's our responsibility to create more jobs. That's why when the president says, let's increase production, all the parameters will increase, and when they increase, all the welders and boiler makers that we are training will be absorbed in the mining sector.
We have about 5 minutes to conclude today's presentation of the post-budget the 2026 analysis. And still under education, maybe I would want to find out, and the people of Kalumbila would want to know, what specific benefits with the free education. I know it's doing wonders in your constituents. Minister of Finance allocated about 2.4 billion to this sector towards free education. Now the big question is, what specific benefits will this 2.4 billion kwacha bring to pupils in Solwezi West, and how will this program be implemented in your constituency? So at least you tap in this 2.4 billion kwacha, honorable member.
All the schools are full. All the schools are full. We have pupils that dropped out, all back in school. Different age groups. Even those that are 21, 22, they are back in primary school, some of them. Because they want to learn. It's free now. That is a plus to all of us. That's the benefit of free education. People are back in school. So we have numbers. Remember, education is the best equalizer. We are here seated, person, speaking very good English, because we've been to school. We've been to university. So why deny that particular villager an opportunity to be like me or to be like you? We are their role models. How will they reach our stage if we do not provide free education for them from that level? I'm coming from a village setup myself. I was at Mkubi Primary School from grade 1 to grade 7. It's a village. When I see those kids there, those pupils there, I see myself in them. And I'm like, one day they also hold a master's, just like I have, you know. So they can reach there. Parents who used to pay that money have now reserved that money for better things. Because they used to pay school authorities in terms of PTA funds and in terms of, you know, school fees. That money is now in the homes. It has remained in their homes. So they are able to buy their pupils probably good food, books, and other things, and clothes. So parents have a saving in that particular score. Most schools are being built, of course, because of free education. Where are they going to sit if we don't? So by constructing more schools, we are empowering those that are building. So that is a benefit from free education. Not only that, desks are being procured to sit those that have come back to school. The thousands have come to school. They need to sit on desks. Who is manufacturing desks? These are locals. They are also making money from that. And above all, there is positive effect on all this. Once a particular individual is educated, like we are, our contribution to the GDP is higher. Where I'm coming from, because I went to school, I employ over 300-400 people in my businesses. Are they not earning a salary? They are, because I went to school. Many people can also do that. So we are encouraging that those that are coming, that are attending free education, will be allowed to go through up to grade 12. And above all, once they get to grade 12, what are we doing for them? We are sending them to schools, to colleges. Free again, using the CDF. Those that are lucky and those that are applying. Right. So from there they go back to work in the communities, and by so doing, they provide that needed resources to their families.
Honorable, I must say thank you so much for finding time to be with us this morning on this platform. But quickly, before I let you go, I'll need to read some of the text messages that we've received. But as we conclude, maybe the question is, I want you to look straight in that camera and speak to the people of Kalumbila, Solwezi West parliamentary constituency, how this budget will benefit them in that regard.
Well, I want to appeal to the people of my constituency, that is Kalumbila, that the budget is our budget. The budget is a national budget for all of us. So we'll get our share and try to utilize that particular resource to benefit our communities. We have you at our heart. We have you at the back of our heads, and I've been 4 years in office. Others probably stayed longer, but they are able to see the strides. I want somebody to tell me which zone we've never been to, which zone has not received development in our area. We can't do everything in 4 years. Politics, people come and go. I'm the 8th member of parliament. I'm doing my part. Someone who come after me should build from where I'm going to live. I think that should be the genesis of our development.
All right, but let's read some of the text messages that people have shared with us on our platform on 0978 772801. Let's quickly see the text messages that you've been sending on that number. And Francis Banda from Luansha on the Copper Belt. Good morning. As the Honorable has said, Kalumbila needs hospitals, because when you look at the statistics of Zambia, Kalumbila produces 50% of the minerals, so we need hospitals in that regard. Thank you so much, Banda from Luansha there. Let's look at another one that is coming from C. Mubanga. Honorable Member, your leadership shines through in your thoughtful responses and visionary ideas. You are an asset to our community. Thank you for representing us so well. Thank you so much, Simo Banga, from should be from your constituency there. Let's see if we have another one. Paul Lewis from Kasempa. Good analysis, but my word of advice to the MP in Northwestern, to the MPs in Northwestern, is to collaborate and push for the infrastructural development. They are mostly the roads because Northwestern will be the hub of greater investment. Thank you so much, Lewis Paul from Kasempa there. Let's see if we do have another text message. This one comes from Ronald, all the way as well from Kasempa. You're saying, I want to appreciate the idea of building community hall. This will have a positive impact on the community in terms of communication with civic leaders. It's something that you talked about earlier on, where you want councillors to have offices. Thank you so much, Ronald, for that text message all the way from Kasempa. The other one, which is lengthy there, happy to hear how you articulate issues regarding Kalumbila constituency. For sure, people from Northwestern Province may complain, but I suggest that local people be trained in many fields. Also on the recruitment jobs are scarce in the country. Honorable explained the concept of decentralization to the locals for them to understand with regards how they access CDF funds than blaming government just in aim. That's the last one. Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable, for coming. I'm sure those are your take-homes. Sure. Yeah, so at least you just reflect to what the people of Kalumbila and Northwestern Province are talking about. I must say thank you so much to the viewers that have participated and our listeners on radio, and those of you that were following us on our socials, the National Assembly of Zambia Facebook page and the YouTube page. Today, we were interacting with Solwezi West Member of Parliament, and this is Mr. Nicholas Mukumbi, just looking at how Kalumbila or Solwezi West will benefit from the 2026 national budget that the Minister of Finance announced 2 weeks ago. My name is Paul Sentindov on behalf of the entire production crew, and indeed not forgetting my sign language interpreter, that's Jason Manda. We'll do this next week on Monday. Thank you so much for your time, and have an incident-free weekend.